How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Some of you have noticed on my Instagram account that sometimes when I take pictures, you saw that I was holding a brand new phone. This is because I've been testing out a brand new low-cost mobile service called Unreal Mobile, and this is what today's video is about. To begin with, I want to let you guys know that Unreal Mobile did sponsor me this phone and also 1 year worth of service so that I can test it out. Now let's talk about conflict of interest for a little bit here, because whenever a company sponsors a video maker in order to make a video, the video producer might tend to give it a favored review. Now from this, I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. You know from the sponsorship that how unbiased I can be. You might know from my previous videos how unbiased I can be. So with that said and all this laid out over here, let me review this phone service. Before using the service, you guys know that I've been pretty much paying $0 every single month for Freedom Pop service. Unreal Mobile is from the same company as Freedom Pop, so if you use their website, you'll see that some of the user interfaces and some of the web interfaces is very similar to that of Freedom Pop. Now, before, when you're using Freedom Pop, you'll notice that if you're not very careful with the upcharges, you might get charged a lot of fees every single month. They might have an app that has these services that will be very easy to sign on to, and then you eventually get charged every single month on top. Unreal Mobile, in my experience in the past 3 months, there has been none of these extra charges. So far, it's pretty much just pay what it says it's gonna charge you and no additional fees on top of that. Now, you know that I've been using Freedom Pop. Why would you ever want to switch over to Unreal Mobile? This is because ever since me switching to Unreal Mobile, you can actually get real phone calls because your text and data is actually over the cellular network, whereas on Freedom Pop, it's over the data network. So whenever I used to get calls on Freedom Pop, by the first time it rings, it's actually on the other end, it sounds like the third time. So I have to pick up the phone really fast if I happen to get a call. And even if I happen to pick it up really fast, is as if it's picking up very late on their end. So here is the pricing list over here. You basically get unlimited everything, and then you pay based on how much data that you want. 1 gigabyte LTE, you pay $10 a month, 2 gigabyte, $15 a month, 5 gigabyte, $30 a month, 10 gigabyte, $40 a month. Now they started me off on 5 gigabyte a month, which is $30 a month if you were to pay for this normally. What I found is that I got really used to using only 1 gigabyte of data. So even when I'm switching over to this 5 gigabyte, I did not need 5 gigabytes. So therefore I don't need to pay that $30 when my trial period is over. So later on, this might be kind of viable for people trying to spend really little on a mobile plan and still get real actual cellular voice and text service. $10 a month for 1 gigabyte of LTE data is certainly something that is doable for me. I think spending $120 for actual reliable cellular service might actually be worth it for me. Now they also have a 500 megabyte of rollover data. So if 1 month you don't spend 500 of it, it goes on to the next month. It tends to accumulate all the way up to 20 gigabytes. Let's say you use very little that single month and you reduce your total data to about 1.2 gigabytes. Well, only 500 is going to roll over again. So the next month after that, you'll have 1.7 gigabytes. If you happen to use less than 500 megabytes every single month consistently, well, you might start to build up a lot more data and you might accumulate more and more every single month. Now, what's also a very important feature is if you run out of LTE data, you still fall back on 2G data. So you can still get something, but at a very slow pace. If you ever use 2G data, you'll know that it's incredibly slow. It's kind of like a little less than dial-up if you ever used dial-up before. So to me, yes, you can get a little bit of data if you're in a bind or something. You want to get one single email. Yes, you can do that. But if you're trying to use any applications, it might be so slow that it's basically unusable. So what is the reliability of the service? It piggybacks on top of the Sprint network. So it's just as good as the Sprint network. In my experience, the Verizon network is generally better, about 9 times out of 10. Of course, this really depends on where you hang around the most. If perhaps most of the time you hang around at home and at work, you have better coverage for Sprint network, then yeah, it's going to be better for you to have Sprint. So for a certain number of people, Sprint network is going to be better. But for the majority of people, I think Verizon network is going to be better. So this network, yeah, it's a slightly lower cost network. It's sort of like second tier, whenever you talk about whenever it's on the Sprint network. It's not the best, but still it's it's very, very good. It still has LTE data. It's very, very fast. And whenever you get data, it's completely usable in terms of receiving calls. And if you've used the Sprint network, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that's a review of this mobile service. I do recommend it for $10 a month. It's roughly the cheapest I've seen for 1 gigabyte of data and unlimited talk and text. If you guys know of any other cheaper alternatives, which I currently do not know of, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon. Thanks for watching.